All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our evening discussion. We're going to be going over and talking about the compensation plan, and we're going to cover some of the components of our opportunity. I'm going to recap real quickly when we talk about the 6 points that create opportunity. These are the 6 points. You got product. Does product matter? Yes, it does. If there's a mistake for opportunity, it's people falling in love with the product and not recognizing the value of positioning to the marketplace. But product definitely does matter. The company, the system, the trends of that product, all those pieces matter. How about being paid? What's your return on your investment? That matters when it comes to identifying a good opportunity. And timing is probably more than all of those pieces combined, because it's not about what you know, it's when you knew it that matters for opportunity. So to strike true opportunity, timing matters. Now, if you get in early enough with the opportunity, be prepared to ride the challenges. You have to go through the growing pains. Look at Steve Jobs and what he went through with Apple. All the rejections of people that didn't even care about his idea of taking a computer the size of a room and condensing it into a desktop. Nobody cared about that. Nobody cared about that. And so you have to be prepared to ride at the very beginning stages of timing and opportunity, ride the challenges. And here's a company, LifeVantage, that went from literally a $2 million company. They were operating in the red. And in their first year, as they changed their distribution model to network marketing, their first year they do 11 million. And they did what took 6 years combined on the retail shelf. So here's a publicly traded company. You can look at their financials. They do 11 million their first year, 38.9 million their second year, 126 million their third year. And then they jumped from 126 million to 200 million. And then they leveled off. They hit a couple of challenges. We had some problems with some corporate staff and some company decisions, and we leveled off at 200 million. So the challenge, the hard thing about being in early enough or too early is you have to have thick skin and be prepared to ride those challenges. And I've seen really good entrepreneur-minded people that lost focus. They lost the vision of being in early and taking advantage of a category-created product into the marketplace. That's a tough thing. But now what we look at what's going on with the company, Tyler Daniels talks about the legacy, the 4 pillars of what creates a legacy company. And what is a legacy company? A legacy company is a company that becomes a billion-dollar brand. When you look in the space of network marketing, when you look at the space of network marketing, what's going on with network marketing, there's what, 1,800 companies? And out of 1,800 companies, there's only, what, about a dozen that become a billion-dollar brand. Those are legacy companies. Those companies go through challenges. You look at Herbalife. Herbalife is a legacy company. It created a nutraceutical products into the marketplace. At the time, those products became super valuable and they became a billion-dollar brand. That company took 14 years to go through that momentum swing and get into the billion-dollar brand. But what separates a regular network marketing company and a legacy company? Tyler Daniels talks about a leadership team that knows network marketing. And so I'm just going to recap real quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I want to get to the point of our conversation tonight. You've got Darren Jensen and his corporate staff with years and years and years of experience of network marketing. This guy was bred in network marketing. His family does network marketing. He's ran network marketing companies, and he's taken the last company he was with, Jeunesse, from 200 million to over 800 million, and he was able to make that movement, that stretch. He knows what it takes. He came into this company, and he sees some things that he needs to tweak and adjust. We've already got a great company. We've got a great product line. We've got the timing and positioning on our side. We just need to make it work like a network marketing company is designed to work. And that's the value what Darren brings to the table. A unified leadership team. So they brought all the distributor leaders together, and we became very strong and unified on our message. How to teach people how to become professionals. We launched the LifeVantage Academy program. The third pillar, category creating product. We look at Nerf 2 and how valuable Protandim and Nerf 2 is to the marketplace. Man, that is legit. We look at the peer-reviewed study that just came out by the U.S. government showing that we extend life by 7%. I mean, you're talking about 5 products worldwide. Out of all the products that are out there, only 5 that they were looking at on what can literally extend life. And out of them breaking down those 5 products, one passed, and that was Pro Tandem. Very powerful on what we have from a product standpoint. We're evolving that conversation. We're bringing down Nerf 1 to the marketplace. We're excited about the research and the involvement of gene expression with Nerf 1 and mitochondria. All that stuff is real. Okay, third pillar is the product line. I won't go into that. I could spend an hour on that alone. The fourth pillar is what we're going to talk about tonight. And that is having a compensation plan that's going to reward people off the proper behaviors and to give upfront commissions as well as mid-level bonuses the right way for people that are making that transition. At the end of the day, people join in network marketing because they want residual income. That's the big seller of network marketing, the ability to have your time back, the ability to have freedom, the ability to make money while you're sleeping, as they say, right? Mailbox money. Residual income is a very, very powerful way of creating leverage that most people will never learn about. It's very rare to get. It's very difficult. You've got to be really, really skilled in your craft to create residual income. And network marketing provides a platform for the average person to literally create an income that gives them the ability to fire their boss. So what we're talking about tonight is a compensation plan is the last component for that legacy charge, if you will. And Darren Jensen evaluated our compensation plan. He watched it for the last year. He even hired an outside third-party company to break down and break into the compensation plan and identify what is necessary for us to benefit as distributors on a couple of components. And what my job is tonight, what my goal is tonight, is to literally break through some of the components of our update of our compensation plan. And by the way, as we roll right into this thing, I want to, obviously recognize that we have Art Thomas on here. We got Sean Woodfield, Pro 7s that are part of the business. And I want to welcome them to jump in and cut me off at any time. If there's a point that you want to build off of, I want to provide that platform for it. But I want to be very direct. I want to be very quick to the point of talking about the compensation plan updates. Because this is recorded, we'll make it available that you can go back and watch it and get familiar with it. So without further ado, if you guys are cool with it, can I get a thumbs up or let me know you guys are good to go? You guys ready to rock and roll? You got your thinking caps on? Got your notepad ready to roll? Okay, because I'm literally going to roll through this pretty quick and just get right to the point. Here's what we looked at when Darren Jensen started breaking down and looking at evaluating the compensation plan and what he was focused on. First thing, what he was focused on is improve the front end. And so those of you that were part of the company about a year ago, you probably heard Darren Jensen talking about why are we talking about just building, get your return on your investment, making sure that you get more money on the front end. So this compensation plan is going to be focused on more upfront front end money. It's also going to be improving the middle rank payout. Again, this is that transition period where you're seeing a lot of our ranks, your Pro 4s, your Pro 5s, your Pro 6s, even into your Pro 7s. This is going to improve those middle ranks where people are really in the trenches building their businesses. Maybe they're getting to that point where they're wanting to get away from their job and run their full-time network marketing business. This is designed to help improve that. It also improves the alignment between building strategies and comp plan requirements. This is a big deal. There are people that are making lucrative incomes off of this compensation plan that are simply just satisfying the requirements, but they're not really focused on building. For example, the story of somebody at a Pro 2 rank that's making $400,000 a year, and yes, that's a true story. You've got somebody making almost $500,000 a year at a Pro 2. There must be something wrong with their compensation plan. Somebody's being rewarded that's not designed on really building the business. And so the compensation plan is going to be rewarding people for doing the proper behaviors, which is a big part of what I think should be done. It should be fair, right, off your efforts. And then improving the long-term potential. I think that's extremely important. If you want to do a one-time build it the right way with the right company, and having that security, if you will, in a paycheck where you know that residual check is coming every single month. So to break into it, there's 8 ways that you get paid in the compensation plan. And we're gonna break down some of them. Some of them you're gonna be familiar with, and it's gonna be more of a repeat, but there's gonna be some of them that are completely new. For example, retail sales. So we're gonna go through and break down some of what these ways that you're gonna get paid in. Whoa, what happened? Where do we go? me go back here. So 8 ways that we get paid. Goodness gracious. Okay, the full launch of this compensation plan, we're going to just cover some of the dates real quick. The full launch is January of 2017 is when you see the full integration of the compensation plan. What will begin next Monday. So the reason why we're having this discussion tonight, because we want to get everyone prepared for what's going to be transpiring next week. And so you know exactly what behavior to be doing to maximize making money in the compensation plan. One of my commitments and one of the things I feel strong on is if you want to be a builder in this company, I want you to have confidence that we're focused on maximizing the compensation plan. So we want to teach you how to maximize making money, learning the proper behaviors to leverage the compensation plan for your benefit. All right, so U.S. markets. The introduction of the launch bonus will start November the 7th. There will also be the increased payout from the PCs from 30% to 40%. So if you enroll a preferred customer, starting beginning November 7th, you will get a 40% payout on preferred customers, not 30%. Right now it's 30% for enrolling a preferred customer. All right, they're changing the names of the package. So rather than having the Freedom Pack, Vantage Pack, and Platinum Pack, it obviously makes sense to keep them in line and make them make sense. They're going to have Silver, Gold, and Platinum. So that'll take place November the 7th. All right, launch bonus. The idea behind this is distributors will now be eligible to earn on all new enrollment packs purchased within their enrollment tree. So as you're enrolling, this is not tied to placement, it's strictly tied to enrollment. So if I enrolled Sean Woodfield and place Sean Woodfield underneath Art Thomas, it's focusing on strictly the enrollment. Okay, so it'll be an enrollment tree that it'll go through. If the enroller of the new pack is paid as a Pro 3 or higher, they'll receive both the Smart Start and the launch bonus. And I will cover these so you know exactly what I'm talking about. The launch bonus, my computer is literally jumping ahead on me. All right, so the launch bonus, here's the launch bonus payout structure. The launch bonus payout structure, when you look at Platinum Packs, if you are a paid as Pro 3, there will be, as somebody enrolls to be a distributor, so somewhere in your organization, somebody enrolls to be a distributor, there will be launch bonuses being paid upline. So these will be $50 payouts. Pro 3s and Pro 4s, the closest paid as Pro 3 will receive a $50 payout. If there is not a Pro 3, it'll look for the closest Pro 4 and pay that $50 out. It then will jump up to the closest paid as Pro 5 or Pro 6, and it'll pay $50 out. It'll then roll up to the closest Pro 7, Pro 8, or Pro 9 and pay another $50 out. And then it'll pay a Pro 10 half, so it'll pay them $25. An executive Pro 10 will get 15, and a presidential Pro 10 will get 10. So that will be on Platinum Packs. And then Gold Packs will be half of that, so you can kind of see how those numbers are relative. So 25 for the closest Pro 3 or Pro 4 versus the 50. And then if you look at the Silver Pack, because these are smaller priced packages, the closest paid as Pro 3 or Pro 4, it'll pay $12.50, and then so on and so forth as it runs through that organization. Okay, so that's the launch bonus payout. This is going to reward $50 payouts to team members that are supporting down in the organization. We talk about building depth, supporting people down in the organization. This is going to reward that behavior. I don't know why it keeps jumping ahead, darn it. So this is what's going to be the timeline of what's going to be what will begin on January the 1st. They're going to introduce 2 new master ranks. There will also be new width requirements for Pro 2s, Pro 5s, and Pro 6s. And then distributors paid as Pro 3s and above will be eligible to receive the generational matching bonus. So those are some of the changes that you will see. They'll start on January the 1. That gives everybody the next couple of months to get your business in alignment to qualify for these things. Qualifying for the width requirements for Pro 2 and Pro 5 and Pro 6, as well as qualifying for the generational matching bonus. Here's your additional master ranks. So you have Master Pro 10, which is our top rank right now. So Master Pro 10 is $1 million in volume. It's a 40-40-20 split. There's a 3-leg requirement. And if you hit Master Pro 10 and you're 3 months qualified, you'll receive a $100,000 bonus by hitting Master Pro 10. An Executive Master Pro 10 will be at $2 million in organizational volume. You will see that there's a fourth leg requirement. It'll pay $250,000 bonus. And then you have the Presidential Master Pro 10, which is $5 million in organizational volume. It requires 5 qualifying legs, and it'll pay out $500,000 upfront bonus on top of all the other bonuses that you get. So those are some of the additional master ranks that are going to be happening. Right now, there is no Master Pro 10 that is qualified for the Executive or the Presidential. So the race is on right now for the Master Pro 10s to see on January the 1 who's going to be the first to do it. Okay, retail sales. Retail sales, receive the difference between the retail price and the wholesale price when you sell online. And let me clarify, sell online through your personal retail site. So that will be a replicated back office. You would if you sold it through there as a retail transaction, you're going to receive the difference between the retail price and the wholesale price. If you sell it person to person, so your neighbor, if you were to take a bottle, go sell it to them, and you sell it to them at retail price, you're going to obviously make that difference of what you paid at the wholesale $40 price, and then the retail difference. And then if you sell your personal inventory. So when you get your initial kit of product, if you don't need all the product inside of that, you can take some of that product and go out and retail sell it at retail recommended price. And you can see that on the website, what those retail recommended prices are. So that is one way to receive commissions in our compensation plan. Then there's what's called the Smart Start bonus. This would be the second way to get paid. The Smart Start bonus is paid weekly for all purchases that are made by new preferred customers or distributors within the first calendar month. Okay, so this is where you are literally enrolling a preferred customer. What is a preferred customer? A preferred customer is somebody who signs up for an auto shipment online. So they go to your back office and they purchase product on your back office as a preferred customer and have that product being sent through what's called auto shipment every month that comes out to them. What is the benefit to a preferred or to a customer to become a preferred customer versus just a retail customer? The biggest advantage, there's two of them. The biggest advantage is you get the product at wholesale price. So you're going to get it for $40. And then the next benefit is you don't have to worry about going out and buying it again from the distributor. It gets automatically shipped directly to the house. Okay? So the Smart Start bonus. To earn the 40% bonus that will start on November the 7th, there will be a 200 personal volume requirement. Now that means you can have customers covering your personal volume, and you will be required for the $40. That's what you'll see there at the very bottom of the screen. Okay, there's the $40 requirement right down there. Okay, so you're obligated to at least $40 if you have customers offsetting the difference of that. If you have between 100 to 199 in personal volume, you will earn a 30% bonus. All right, so that's that. That's the only change you have there. Is if you have less than 200, then you will qualify for a 30% bonus. All right, let's go back to the launch bonus. We were talking about the launch bonus. This is how you're going to earn it through the enrollment tree. It's a 200 PV requirement in order to qualify, and the payout of that launch bonus begins at Pro 3. So you're going to see a pattern that's repeated here. That is, if you're a Pro 1 or a Pro 2, it is highly beneficial, financially beneficial to get to Pro 3 ASAP. The company is driving the behavior of getting as many people as they can qualified paid as Pro 3s. And here's why. Our retention is super high. It's right now the statistic is 64 months versus a Pro 1 is only 9 months, a Pro 2 is only 18 months. So there's a high retention on Pro 3s. We want to get as many people as we can to Pro 3s, and there's some extra financial incentives to getting there. If the enroller of the new pack is paid as Pro 3 or higher, they will receive both the Smart Start bonus and the launch bonus. Okay, so there's some examples here to explain exactly what this looks like. Here is the example. The new pack it comes in. So you got the new distributor who enrolls down here with the green circle. When that new person enrolls, they're going to show in this example that the Pro 2 is the enrolling distributor. The enrolling Pro 2 would get the $400 Smart Start bonus for enrolling that new Platinum pack. But because the Pro 2 is not qualified as a Pro 3, they will not get the first launch bonus. That first launch bonus of $50 would be paid to the Pro 4. Okay, so there's in this enrollment tree, there's not a paid as Pro 3. The next rank is the Pro 4. So the $50 goes to the Pro 4. The next $50 bonus is looking upline to the next paid as Pro 5 or Pro 6. In this example, it shows a Pro 5, so it pays a $50 roll-up bonus or launch bonus to that Pro 5. It then looks upline again, and the next $50 bonus would be paid out to the qualified Pro 7, Pro 8, or Pro 9. In this enrollment tree, it shows that there's a Pro 7 in this tree, so they would receive a $50 bonus. And then, of course, then half of that, a $25 bonus, would be paid to a Pro 10. So that is an example of just somebody that hasn't qualified for the Pro 3. So you're getting the Smart Start bonus, but you're not qualifying for you're not getting the launch bonus. Okay, somebody's asking a question about being defined as a Pro 3, a paid as Pro 3. That means you qualify for the balancing requirements to be paid as a Pro 3. When you hit a Pro 3, you'll always be recognized as a Pro 3, but that does not mean you're being paid as a Pro 3. Sometimes people's volume will drop back. If their volume drops below the qualifying amount of volume, so in this, we'll see this in a second, but there's 5,000 of organizational volume, so total volume in your network, will qualify you as a Pro 3. There's also a little bit of balancing requirements there, but if you fell below 5,000 and you didn't qualify as a Pro 3, then you're not considered being paid as a Pro 3, although you're recognized as a Pro 3. So that's when they say paid as. That's what they're meaning by that example of paid as. All right, let's look at another example. This example is showing in this enrollment tree that there is a Pro 3 that enrolls the new Platinum Pack. As you see in this example, the Pro 3 will get the Smart Start bonus of $400, 40% of that enrollment volume, and they're also qualifying for the first $50 launch bonus. So that Pro 3 would make $450. It's then going to look upline to the closest paid as Pro 5 or Pro 6. In this example, it shows there's a Pro 5 paid as that qualifies for the next $50 bonus. It's then going to go upline, and it's going to look at there, and it looks like there's a paid as Pro 6, but because the paid as Pro 6 is in the same category, it's looking for the next Pro 5 or Pro 6. It found the Pro 5, so that eliminates the Pro 6. The next $50 is looking for either Pro 7, Pro 8, or Pro 9. Well, this tree does not show a paid as Pro 7, but it does show a paid as Pro 8. So that $50 bonus would be paid to the Pro 8, and then $25 being paid to the Pro 10. Again, this is rewarding for those mid-level ranks for people that are in the trenches participating and building with the team. Here's another example of a launch bonus. In this example, there's a Pro 7 that enrolls a new Platinum Pack. Same rules apply. It's a $400 Smart Start bonus plus the Pro 7 qualifies for the first $50 launch bonus. In this particular example, there is a Pro 1 and a couple of Pro 2s above the Pro 7. This does happen, and you're going to see it happening come January the 1st when this new program is launched. In fact, you'll actually see this next week on November the 7th. There will be Pro 2s that have elite distributors underneath them that are not paid as Pro 3s that will miss these $50 launch bonuses. And that's what this example is showing. Okay, so these are just strictly examples of how that launch bonus will work. All right, this is the last example. I'll just show this again. Pro 1 enrolls a new Platinum Pack. That Pro 1 would qualify for the $400 Smart Start, but clearly not being paid as a Pro 3 would not qualify for the first $50 Smart Start or launch bonus. But looking upline, it's looking for the next Pro 3 or Pro 4. It sees that there's no Pro 3, but there is a Pro 4, so it pays the $50. Above the Pro 4, there's a Pro 2. Is $50 going to go to that Pro 2? No, it is not. It'll skip that Pro 2 and pay upline to the next qualifying Pro 5 or Pro 6. In this example, it shows there's a Pro 5, so the $50 will be paid there, and then it looks like there's a Pro 9, so they get the $50. Okay, that's the launch bonus. Now what we're going to look at is the royalty income. There's really no changes here. So this is going to be just a quick example of royalty commissions. This is going to be more of a refresher. So royalty commissions, they're paid monthly, and it pays up to 43% on all product purchases. And I want to make this very clear. There's no breakaway in the royalties. This is a big deal because there are some companies that will take where there's some breakage or people that are not qualifying in the 9 levels, and the company takes that check. This will pay out every level, 9 levels will be paid out a royalty check, and there is dynamic compression, and I'm not going to go into those details, but this royalty compensation plan is very lucrative, and this is that part of building a true residual check. Okay, this is royalty commissions continued. So this is going to show a little bit of the requirements now. Let me see if I can maybe zoom in on this a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit better. This is going to show how much volume is required per rank. It's also going to show you legs requirements. Okay, so in these leg requirements, you can see that at Pro 2 there's the two legs that are required. Okay, so you got 2 legs that are required at Pro 2, and it's really pretty simple. It's 80-20, so it's not a big deal. The minimum monthly qualifying volume is 2,500, and then at Pro 3 it's still 80-20. So you have 2 leg requirements at Pro 3. The volume is 5,000, and then what you're going to see, it's all the same until you get to Pro 5. And when you're looking at, you're going to see this tier system that based upon what rank you are is how many levels you're going to reach in the unilevel structure. So if you look at this at Pro 3, you're going to reach 5 levels down into the compensation structure. At Pro 5, you're looking at Pro 5 there, now you see the 3rd leg requirement come into play. It's a 60-30-10 split, requires 3 legs. And then you see that that's reaching 7 levels down. It's 60-30-10 all the way through all the ranks until you get to Pro 10. And it's a 40-40-20, and then you see the 4 and 5 leg requirements at the master executive level and the master presidential level. So that's some of the tweaks to the qualifying volume as you're required to build a 2nd leg at Pro 2. Not a big deal. You're talking 2,500 in volume, so you're talking 20% of that coming from outside leg, from an outside organization. So what's that? $500 in volume. So it's not even, it's one enrollment. Distributor enrollment is going to put you in that qualification category, or a couple of customers will put you qualifying as Pro 2. So very achievable. Pro 5, you got to get that 3rd leg on there. All right, let's continue on off that royalty structure. This is the generational matching check. Some of the requirements on that, real quick. Generational matching bonus. When you receive the cells, when you achieve the cells and group volume on a monthly basis to be paid as a Pro 3, again, that's the 5,000. So let's go back to that Pro 3 chart real quick, just so that we're all on the same page. At Pro 3, it's 5,000 organizational volume, requires an 80-20 split. Okay, 80-20 split. You got to have 2 legs there at Pro 3. So what's that? $1,000 in volume. $1,000 of outside volume would qualify you as a Pro 3. You have that in place. You now qualify for the generational matching bonus. That would be 10% match of all your personally enrolled distributors, and then you will get a 5% match on your 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th generations. Okay, so you are required to be at a qualified Pro 3 position. You also have to maintain a minimum of $200 PV. So that could be $200 from yourself, or that could be $160 from customers, and then $40 from yourself. If you have less than $200, you will qualify for 50% of the generational matching bonus. Okay? Elite pool. The elite pool is exactly the same. As you hit qualifying ranks as Pro 7, 8, 9, and 10, you participate in 1% of all the company's volume. 8, 9s, and 10s will share in 2%. 9s and 10s at 3%, and then a Pro 10 would get we share in 4% of the total sales. All right, I'm not going to go over this. This is just talking at the Pro 10 rank. Those extra checks that are paid out, obviously they're very lucrative. Pro 10's $100,000, executive Pro 10's $250,000 upfront bonus. Presidential Master Pro 10 has a $500,000 bonus by hitting those ranks. So clearly, if you're motivated, if you want to make a ton of money, obviously getting to the back end of the compensation plan, you're going to be creating a lot of money. There's a lot of money there that's being paid for that. Multiple business centers. The cool thing about this adjustment to the business centers, you actually get 4 business centers now. Before it was only 3. Okay, so when you hit a rank Pro 5, the company gives you another U. So anybody on here that's new, you've got your distribution spot. You hit a rank Pro 5, the company gives you another distribution spot that you can build volume through. That's what they call a business center 2. You hit Pro 7, they give you another distribution spot. That would be business center 3. So now you have 3 distribution spots that you can leverage volume off of. You get to a Master Pro 10, you get a 4th business center, and they just give those to you. They're free. They're just given. You build volume to those, you're going to get paid an extra check. And so literally you can leverage a 4-time payout on one person or one network. If you set up that network, you can get paid out on that. So that's the business center. All right, these are just some timelines to remember. So if you want to write down some timelines or go back and get familiar with this, effective on November the 7th, there will be a launch bonus. That's when the launch bonus begins. We were talking about those $50 roll-ups. That's going to be beginning on November the 7th. November the 18th is when the first launch bonuses will be paid out in the U.S. market. On January the 7th, there'll be a full launch of all the enhancements to the plan in the U.S. And then all approved international markets will begin at that time as well on January the 7th. On February the 15th, the first payout of the new plan begins, all approved markets. So any markets that approve the updates in the compensation plan will be paid out on February the 15th. Now, this is kind of cool. The company threw this in there for those of you that feel like maybe you're out of rank now or you've got to make some adjustments. They've got a grandfathering period that will end with requirements for Pro 5s and Pro 6s on March the 31st. So you have until March the 31st to be your grandfathered in, but you've got till March the 31st to hit some of those balancing requirements. Okay, so that literally is the detailed breakdown of our compensation plan. This obviously will be available for replay, and it'll give you guys a chance that you guys can go back over it and get more familiar with it. Here's the idea and plan behind this. This is designed to reward people that are in the trenches building. Secondly, it's providing upfront bonuses as well as mid-level bonuses or mid-level rank payout for people that are in that transition period of trying to either winging off a job or have incurred more costs in traveling or out building. It helps them cover their costs to operate and build their business. So I think that the adjustments to this is going to be legit and it's fair, and I'm glad that the company has got some tweaks and adjustments. Darren Jensen knows something about network marketing, and he knows that these are some of the pieces that the company needed for that next big movement of growth, going from 200 million to that charge towards $1 billion. So we're excited about where we're going with that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording, and I'd like